Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how to position yourself as the obvious expert. A major part of this process is finding your own path, and I'll share some tips for how you can figure out the right path for yourself. By the end of this video, you will learn the importance of promotion, the role of networking, and why writing a book could help you take the next step forward. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity. Let's dive in. In order to position yourself as the obvious expert, you need to be in the right places. Those places can be in person, they can be virtual, they can be a bookshelf. In any event, it requires you to figure out what it takes to be the expert, to be the authority in your space. If people in your space, if business leaders in your space are all on LinkedIn, you should be on LinkedIn too. If they are all publishing books, you should publish a book too. It's not about following the pack, it's about finding the right way to connect with the people who need to connect with you. Where are they? Where are they gathering? Speeches are a great way to do that. Public speeches are awesome at allowing you to connect with audiences of people. And those people could have various backgrounds and perspectives, but they're all interested in learning from you. And it could be you giving the speech, or it could be somebody else. It's all about putting yourself in the right position to succeed and taking the next step forward. A lot of times with thought leaders, the people I talk to as a book ghostwriter, they're interested in taking that next step. And I think a lot of times they're doing the same things again and again and again, hoping for something else to happen. They're writing essays online and they've seen success with that, but maybe the success is plateaued and stagnated. They're only going to get so much more out of that. Maybe there's a cap on their impact on YouTube. Maybe they've tapped out the speaking engagement field. Maybe they've given all the speeches that they can and gone to all the events that they can, and that's as far as they can take it. And a lot of times when I talk to those people, they're thinking about writing a book, as a lot of us do. A lot of people think about writing books. Most of them don't finish it. Most of them don't get started. A lot of times it's just an idea or a couple loose papers in a filing cabinet somewhere. But becoming the obvious expert is really about being in the obvious places and then being in some more places. So when I talk to people and they've kind of plateaued in terms of their impact and their ability to be the obvious expert, that's when I really explore books with them and what a book could do and the power of a book. There's so much power in a book. When you go to give a public speech and at the end of the conversation, you're standing there and you don't have anything to give anybody, you're just shaking hands. What else comes of that? Maybe you give them a business card. What else comes from that? At the end of the day, what are they doing with the business card? Are they actually acting on it? Are they calling you? Are they emailing you? Maybe not. If you give them a book, if you go give a speech to 50 people and give all of them a book, and a really good book, not just a slap together book, but a really, really good book, what's the likelihood that some of them are going to follow up with you? That they're going to want to work with you? That they're going to want to hire you? That they're going to pay you tens of thousands of dollars? There's so much opportunity that comes with book writing. If you're looking at becoming an expert, a book is the go-to. It really is. It's the greatest way to present yourself. When you think about finding an expert on a topic, what do you think about? Who wrote a book on it? Who wrote a book on this? Go to Amazon, search for something and see what pops up. There's no other place that really exudes that much authority in becoming the obvious expert. There's websites, there's coaching programs, there's LinkedIn, there's YouTube, there's so many different arenas. There's public speeches. But writing a book and positioning yourself as the go-to expert in a space is such an awesome thing. It's such an empowering thing. It's the creative leverage. It's the differential factor that sets you apart from everybody else in your space. Everybody else in your space could be doing all the same things that you're doing. Speeches, LinkedIn, YouTube, social media. But if you don't have a book and there's no sales funnel underneath it, you're leaving so many opportunities aside. You're giving away so many opportunities to really galvanize your success, to galvanize your message, to galvanize your authority. Positioning yourself as the go-to obvious authority really means meeting them in every single way you can. It means meeting them in all the places they need to be met. You know, a lot of times people have newsletters and YouTube and this and that. It's been fun for me to establish myself as a thought leader in ghostwriting and book ghostwriting. And I started with LinkedIn. I started with YouTube videos. You know, I have some video courses that are really exciting. And it's just little by little by little. There's all these different places I'm meeting people. I'm giving them all of the reason to say yes and no reason to say no. I'm taking away the friction points. You think about the friction points of working with a book ghostwriter. Typically, it's the cost. You know, if somebody doesn't have the money to pay $25,000 or $30,000 to hire me to help write their book, there's so many other opportunities with which to meet them. You know, whether it's books, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's something else, that they can still get value even if they're not paying a single dime to me, that they're just following me on social media, they can learn more about writing a book. That's an awesome thing. You know, it's really about positioning yourself and putting yourself in the right places to be the go-to expert, to be the person that they reach out to be the person they contact and they think of. Whenever they're thinking of an expert in your space, it's you. It's because you've put yourself everywhere. You know, and it takes time to be able to do that, and you need to be able to work with the right people. You know, there's only 24 hours in a day, so you really need to team up and pair up with experts in those areas. You know, I'm not editing and posting my YouTube videos all by myself. Like, there's a team behind that. They're an awesome team. And there's so many other elements at play. Like, all these things require assistance and help and guidance and support. So it's all these things working together, but being the expert in that space and sharing your message and using these platforms and services and connections to help you get the message out to more and more people. A big part of positioning yourself as an expert is connecting with other experts. It's not enough just to be on your own little island in a vacuum, coming up with ideas. It's about connecting with others in the space and for them to see you as somebody with something to say too, that you have the hand stamp, that you have the sign of approval, that you've done the work and you've done the thinking and you've put yourself out there. And it's not that they always have to agree with everything you say. It's really about being respected in the space. It's being thought of in the space. So when people think of the go-to leaders in your space, you know, maybe some other person comes to mind and you do too. You know, there's obvious connections there. You can find people who agree with what you say. You can find people who disagree with what you say, but there's a respect. There's a mutual understanding there that you're all, you know, connecting and sharing and helping to lift the entire group. You know, that your perspectives are helping to lift others in this industry, in this field, in this topic, you know, and you're helping the next generation along. When I talk about writing a book, it's not enough just to write a book and publish a book. You know, I've worked with people who wanted to speed ahead and cut corners and didn't really do the hard work necessary to write the best book possible. You know, they only really wanted to just push it out there. And I'll click on it 2-3 years later and they have 3 or 4 responses, 3 or 4 ratings on Amazon. The book didn't resonate. The book was published and it didn't resonate. You know, it's one thing to just push a book out there. It's another thing entirely to write a book that means something, write a book that carries forward, and write a book that resonates. And a lot of times it really involves understanding how your message is unique compared to all the other messages in the space. You know, how your message is different. And standing on the shoulders of those who've come before and written books previously. You know, how does your book compare? You know, being able to set yourself apart and being able to identify your uniqueness helps you position yourself. You know, I think of myself in the ghostwriting space as a good ghostwriter. It's my last name. It's easy to brand it that way. But it's something that resonates deeply with me, that I am helping people write their stories and help them take their life to the next level. And that's my focus. In my ghostwriting, I'm helping people achieve their dreams, which is awesome. It's an awesome thing. But it takes a lot of time and effort at the beginning of the process when I'm working with someone to really uncover and unlock their power of their message. It's not enough just to say, all right, we're writing a book. You know, sometimes we spend a couple meetings talking about the foundation of the book and the takeaways and the goals. Sometimes it comes through over a course of a couple months. But those takeaways and the reader benefit is front and center. We're trying to write a book that has a lasting impact and has a lasting legacy. And it's great when I can see the momentum building. I remember when I was working with somebody in the real estate space and they were interested in writing a book, and their first draft, it wasn't very good. It really wasn't. It was kind of unoriginal. It kind of just tagged along with some of the other popular books in this industry, and it wasn't going to work. And I worked with them, and we worked together for a couple months, and I was really proud to help them hone in on their message and figure out what they wanted to say and position themselves as the go-to authority on this topic. I was on Amazon recently and I was looking at the reviews. I see all these 5-star reviews. This book was simple and it really changed my life. It really changed my focus. It really changed my perspectives. It was awesome to see that, because that's really what the goal is. The goal is to write a book that matters and to impacts people and that helps you position yourself for success, whatever that success looks like. And being able to spend the time and get it right can really help to unlock the power in your message, in your story, and your book. If you want to learn more about how to position yourself as the obvious expert, I have the perfect course for you. It's a video course. It's completely free. It's called Good Book Blueprint. Just head to goodbookblueprint.com. You can click the link below. I recorded the course with a friend of mine, Nate Woodbury, and we collaborated on his book, and we've talked all about the journey of book writing, ghostwriting, publishing, editing, all these topics that you probably have questions about. We answered in this video course, and I'd love for you to check it out. I think it'll help kind of answer some of the questions you may have about the process and empower you on your journey forward. Remember, good ghostwriting makes great books. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.